Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. It's currently, I don't know, what time is it, Joe?
8:30.
About 8:30 on Saturday morning, the 27th of June, 2020. And this is my weigh-in update video for Slimming World. Another good week on plan. I'm really happy with how it's rolling over at the moment. This is day 33 on plan. So I weighed in yesterday, which was day 32 on plan. And yesterday morning I lost a further, and it's in my bag, a further 2 pounds. So to illustrate my 2 pounds, we have 2 tins of Stag low fat vegetable chilli, which is free on plan, and about £1.75 in Asda. And you know, when you hold it in your hands and you think to yourself, well, you could use this for exercise, couldn't you? You think to yourself, that's what 2 pounds weighs like, or feels like. It really shocks me every week, because if I had to carry that around all day, one in each hand, well, A, I wouldn't get much done, but B, I'd be really aware of it. You know, we're going out walking shortly, and we do like a 5-hill walk. And if I had to carry those 2 tins up all 5 hills with me, I would be so aware of them. So when you think that you can put down or get rid of 2 pounds in a week, or even 2 pounds in a month, because we're none of us in a hurry, it's more about consistency than speed. It's understandable why eventually, you know, if you keep doing it, you start to notice. So yeah, that's it this week, 2 more pounds off. So in 32 days, which was as of yesterday, I have lost 12 pounds in 32 days. Now, if you'd have said to me 32 days ago, change what you're eating, focus on free foods, totally free foods, apart from your healthy extras and your sins, how much do you think you could lose in 32 days? I'd have said maybe 6-7 pounds, but 12. I did not see that coming, but I am bloody grateful. Now, today I'm wearing a top that I went to visit a friend yesterday to drop some stuff off from shopping, and she bought me a new top. So I'm wearing it today, but I'm wearing it with shorts. And again, you know, looking back over the years, well, I think I had a pair of shorts when I was at my biggest, probably around 20 stone. I mean, I went up to 22, but I probably had a pair of shorts when I was about 20, the summer before, when I was about 20 stone. But I'm not joking when I say to you, they look like a double duvet cover. And they were this wide, and they were past my knees, you know, big, like cottony denim shorts. That if I'd kept them, and I do regret not keeping some of my biggest stuff, because I had a dressing gown that I'm sure that 2 of you, me and Joe, could now get in. But if I'd kept those shorts, I think probably 3 people could get in them now. And you see people do this, don't you, with a pair of trousers where somebody's standing in each leg or whatever. But it blows my mind when I go to get clothes out of my wardrobe. And I like this morning, I've got 2 pairs of these shorts. One size a pair 8s. Oh, tongue-tied. One pair is a size 8, and these are a 10. And I went to get them, and they were both clipped onto the same coat hanger. So I just like put them next to each other to gauge which was which. And I took the size 10 ones. And I stand there with it in my hand, and I'm like, that's never going to fit me. And last night I have a pair of jeans that are ankle grazers that I bought when I was 8 stone 8. They still got the labels on, I never wore them, and they were from White Stuff. And I tried them on when I started this part of my journey a month ago, and I could not get them up my legs. I was like, Jesus, Jane, what have you done to yourself? 10 stone 4.5, and I could not get these ankle grazer jeans literally up my legs. And my legs are not my fattest part, they never have been. And I was just hang them back in the wardrobe, or just give them away. I don't want to see them again. Anyway, last night I decided I'd try them, and I can get them on, and I can fasten them, and I can zip them up, just for losing 12 pounds. So I've put a note on my smart speaker to remind me on the 26th of July to put them on again, because by then they will fit well, I'm sure, if I carry on doing what I'm doing. So all in all, it's been a good week. It's been a week of observances, shall we say. A strange thing happened the other day. We were driving home, we picked the car up from service, and we were driving home up one of the main roads in the town where we live. And Joe was like, kind of like, I've seen everything now. Why, what's up? And he said, there's a girl. I mean, he tells me everything that I would see if I could see. There's a girl walking down the other side of the road towards us, Mum, and she's topless. Now this was, what, 3:30 in the afternoon on a red hot day? So I said, no. And he went, yeah, honestly. I said, well, is she just like a child? And he said, no, she's about my age, so mid-20s. And she's topless. So she got on not joggers, what do you call them? Leggings and shoes and nothing else. And now, am I an old lady? Because that actually appalls me. I'm like, girl, if you've got any self-respect, put some bloody clothes on. There's a time and place for that. The beach, by the side of the swimming pool, in your own garden, I've no problem with that at all. But on the main road at 3:30 in the afternoon, opposite an old people's home, no. And I texted my younger friend afterwards, who's only like in her 30s, so she's 30 years younger than me, and I said, is it me? Am I turning into my mother, or is this just not right? And I know it's only my opinion, but that really shocked me. So anyway, you have to get on with your life and let people get on with theirs, don't you? But it's a good job I wasn't walking, because I might have said to her, would you like to borrow a shirt? Joe, give me your shirt. Not me. But things like that, just like, where is this world going? Anyway, later on in the week, this is this totally different thing, but we were out walking on Thursday morning, and it was early. We went out about 7:30 because of the heat. And where we walk, we do a big hill, and then we go around a big loop, and then we do 2 reasonably long but quite steep hills up to a church. So you go up a hill, you cross the main road, you go up another hill, and at the top of the hill there's a church, and you walk right round a loop around the church, and you come back down the 2 hills. So we're approaching the bottom of this hill to turn right to go up it, and a chap's jogging towards us, and he's going to turn left and go up the hill. Now Joe said, Mum, that chap who's running is way older than you. He must be well in his 70s, but he looks fit. And we thought he was just going to run past us, but he didn't. He turned and he went up the hills we were going up, and he ran up those 2 hills in front of us. And it was like, flipping heck. You know, you can do this at any age. You can be fit and healthy at any age. And not that I'm ever going to run up those hills, I can tell you that now. But he ran up the 2 hills, and he ran around the church, and by the time we were going up the 2nd hill, he was jogging back down again. Joe put his hand up, said good morning to him and that. He went down to the bottom, he turned the corner and that, and by the time we'd done the loop round the church and we were coming down, he was running back up the 2nd hill. And the guy didn't even seem to be slightly breathless. You know, I'm like, by the top of the 2nd hill. And I was just so encouraged by that, because I'm always saying you're never too old to lose weight. Now this man might have been fit all his life. You know, Joe said he'd got a reasonably fit looking body. He was in shorts and a vest top. But to see that and to know that there are people out there, my age group, you know, people in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, who are making an effort at being healthy. And it's mind-blowing. It's so bloody encouraging, because we're not all in a waiting room waiting to pop our clogs and dash off to heaven or elsewhere. We've got life. We've got life in us. Some of us oldies have got life in us. In fact, I'm going to use a phrase which used to really tick me off, but sometimes I think life is wasted on the young. Because it's when you get older, you realise life isn't forever, and that one day, you know, this is going to come to an end, so you might as well make the most of what you've got while you've got it, and do something useful with it, and be active, and stop moaning, and live your life, and enjoy your life, and be kind to people, and enjoy other people. Because that's what all life is about. You can save up, you can collect possessions, you can do all these things, but as my mother always reminds me, shrouds don't have pockets. You can't take any of it with you. But by God, you can make the most of every day you've got. And I know some people are in ill health, and I know some people are on a lot of medication. But can I just encourage anybody who's watching that, who's watching this, who's feeling that way? When I started my weight loss journey, I was on about 5 medications. My blood pressure was off the scale, really off the scale. My cholesterol was way, way up there somewhere. You know, I was on maximum dose of Prozac for 14 years. 14 years maximum dose. My doctor never even tried, my doctor was lovely, bless him, he's gone now, but he never even tried to help me get off it. And I just thought that was it. And when I look back over those 14 years, you know, so much of what I did in those 14 years is missing. I talked to Joe about things we did when he was a kid, and I'm like, did we? And then my husband will say, remember when we went to so-and-so and we did such and such and we stayed so-and-so, we travelled to such, and I'm like, did we? So much of my memories are missing. So many of my memories are missing because of Prozac. So for anybody who feels trapped in a body that isn't well, that's on medication, you know, if your problem's weight, think about it. That's the key to unlocking all the other stuff. Because if you can get the weight off, I firmly believe you can shed all those other things. I haven't taken any medications at all now for over 5 years. And I can't tell you what a difference that makes. I don't need anything. My cholesterol's normal, my blood pressure's normal. I'm not pre-diabetic. I don't have depression, I don't have anxiety. The reason I was on Prozac initially was because of postnatal depression, because I had a child following a couple of Joe, following a couple of miscarriages. I couldn't relax and enjoy being a mother because I was so terrified of losing him that I got myself into a state of depression. So my doctor put me on Prozac in the short term. 14 years later I was still on it, and I woke up one day, it was Halloween, never forget. I woke up and I said to myself, by then I had it in liquid form because I'm not good with tablets. I woke up and I said, I'm not taking this anymore. I'm just not taking this anymore. And I should have been weaned off it because, as I tell you, I was on the maximum dose for 14 years. And I literally put them all the bottles I had, into a carrier bag. I got my friend to take me to the pharmacy and I gave it in so that I couldn't change my mind. Never taken it from that day to this, and my God, never missed it. I'm not saying everybody who's on antidepressants can get off them. It depends on the chemical state of your brain and everything. I'm talking about me, and I'm talking about hope. And even if it means you can just take a lesser dose over the years and get back some of those feelings of being yourself instead of being medicated, it's worth looking at if the only thing that's stopping you doing that is your weight. After my video last week, a little while later, I got a text from Naomi to say that I'd won Slimmer of the Week for the 3rd week in a row. And so that's a hat trick. So I got Slimmer of the Week, first time with 3.5 pound loss, Slimmer of the Week second time with a 2.5 pound loss, Slimmer of the Week last week with a 2.5 pound loss. Then I've got a 2 pound loss this week. I had a 1.5 at the beginning, which adds up to my 12. I've never ever done that before. You know, I've joined Slimming World at 20 stone. I've joined Slimming World at 21 stone 5.5. I remember joining that once. I would occasionally win Slimmer of the Week when I'd had a week of Operation Starvation or something, you know, how you do when you have one of those weeks where you're just bloody determined you're going to lose weight, so you don't eat, blah, blah, blah. I've been there, done that so many times. But I've never, ever won Slimmer of the Week 3 weeks on the trot. And to do that, at 9 stone something, for me, it's like flipping heck. I use the word journey. I'm on this weight loss journey, and it is a journey because I need to be on it for the rest of my life. I can't ever say, across the finishing line, I've done with that, now I can eat what I like. Well, I can say that, but I can go back to 22 stone quite quickly. But to be able to do that in the 9 stones is like, why? How? Well, I'll tell you why and I'll tell you how. Why? Because I was creeping back up and I blooming well didn't like it. I said to Joe yesterday, sitting in his car, I feel like I'm back in my own body because my bum and my back are sitting properly in this seat again. Whereas when I was up to 10 stone 4.5, some people might say, well, that's not heavy. Well, it actually had me in an unhealthy BMI. It had me in an overweight BMI, whereas I'm back in a normal BMI now. Sitting in his car, I was noticing my bum was getting bigger, my back was bulky, so I wasn't sitting comfortably in the bucket seats of his car. I am again now. And Joe said to me, well, to be truthful, Mum, you were starting to look like you had put weight on. I could see it in you, and I can see the difference now. And that's, that's what the difference £12 makes. So if you're £12 from your target and you're, in your 9 stones, your 10 stones, your 11 stones, whatever you're in, or even in your 8 stones, if you're only 12 stone away from your target, don't think it's impossible. If I can do it in 32 days, I'm not saying you'll do it in 32 days, but you can certainly do it. I want to say thank you to whoever it was who watched my video last week, who then attempted to joined Esther, the author whose book I showed last week. Whoever attempted or joined her Facebook page and told her about my video, because I had a really nice comment from the author of that book, Esther, on my video last week. And you know what I took from that? Well, A, it was really kind of her to take the time to acknowledge a little YouTube channel. But B, you never know who's watching. You don't, do you? Because I once was like chatting away on my video, and I'm talking about my mum and all the stuff with my mum. And then later in the day I got a text from my cousin, who I probably see, well, probably once in 5 years at a funeral. We like each other and we're close, but we live a long way apart and everything. And she said, guess whose YouTube channel I came across this week? I mean, oh my God, I didn't even know she knew my married name. But you never know who's watching. And it's quite funny because I've said things about my mum on my video, nothing nasty, because I love my mum to bits. Apart from I said to her a fortnight ago when she turned 88, "Ooh, you're two fat ladies." She did laugh eventually. 88, two fat ladies. But I've said all sorts of things on my video that are quite personal about me, but I'm prepared to share them because it might help somebody else, that are quite private about me. There's stuff that I probably wouldn't have told my mum, because you don't tell your mother everything, do you? And my mum said to me a couple of weeks ago, "Oh, my new friend Mo across the road said if I ever want to watch your videos, she can get them on her phone for me." And I just said to her, "No, Mum, I don't want you watching my videos. They're private. It's about me. It's not for your neighbour to watch, and it's not for you to watch." And she went, "That's fine, if you feel like that, I won't watch them." But I'm glad she said it to me rather than just getting her new friend to show her them, because I would feel that I had to be so careful about everything I said if I knew my 88-year-old mother was watching me use the F word even. So yeah, just, you never know who's watching. And thank you, Esther, if you ever watch again. Thank you for your lovely comment, and thank you for your brilliant book. We're still reading every day. Joe reads to me, because some books I'm interested in I can't get on Audible, and one of the books I've actually got on Audible, but we're enjoying reading it together anyway, and it's called Fibre Fueled, and oh my, like, this book it's blowing our socks off, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah, it's a great book.
It's unbelievable. Now, I was going to attempt to tell you the author, but I cannot. I don't know how you say his surname, but I'm going to talk more about it possibly next week, because I want to do a video next week telling you how I think I've lost this weight. Excuse me. Why it's working for me, focusing on free food, and the power of all that sort of thing. So basically, a good week. Not a massive amount of exercise over and above our walk each day, because it's been too hot and I don't function well in the heat. Joe will tell you, you can leave me in the chair, come back 2 hours later and I'm still in the same chair with the window open or the fan on. I am not a hot weather person, I'm a cold weather person. So I haven't even done much housework this week other than the laundry and stuff, because it's just been too hot. It's a bit cooler today, so we're going out for a walk now. But yeah, a good week food-wise. I am 100% happy with everything I've eaten this week. I found myself a new milk, because much as I love my coconut milk, my Alpro Professional, it's sweetened. Not massively so, but it's sweetened, and I'm starting to think to myself, come on, you ought to be thinking about moving on from sweetened. You don't need it. Don't use sugar, you don't use honey, you don't use any artificial sweeteners or whatever. It's time to move on a bit. So we decided I would try hemp milk, and I really like it. I've tried oat milk as well, like that. The problem with the oat milk was, again, it was sweet. So the hemp milk isn't. It's only got 3 simple ingredients. It's really good for the planet, it's really good for the people, and it's £2 in Asda. It's light, but creamy, if that makes any sense at all. You know the difference between drinking black coffee and white coffee? It changes the texture. If you put milk in it, it feels a bit sort of slightly thicker. What I would say the texture, if you put hemp milk in, is a bit like putting skimmed milk in, but it's because that's watery, isn't it? But it's a bit creamier, and it's really nice in porridge. But one of the things I'm really, really passionate, and again I might make a video about this one day, but I'm really, really passionate about showing people the damage that artificial sweeteners can do to us. Not because I think I know better than anybody else, not because I think you're wrong to use them, but I think we need to be making informed choices. And maybe you don't read the stuff that is out there on things like, what's Michael's page, nutritionfacts.org and things like that. There are some incredible websites out there that will teach you about if you put artificial sweetener, whether it's in a yogurt or in skinny syrup or out of a jar, into your breakfast. Yes, you're avoiding sugar and calories, but what happens when you eat your lunch? That artificial sweetener then pushes up your blood sugars. It's secondary effect and stuff like that. And I think if we know all those things, and then we still decide to pour skinny syrup into our coffee or eat artificially sweetened foods, that's fine. But I think we all need to come from a place where we are informed, and then we can make the choices that work for us. And it's going to be a different choice for everybody, because this is not one size fits all. Some people could never get away from having things sweetened. They may have a very sweet tooth and have to supplement that with artificial sweeteners. Some people, like probably the category I fall into, don't have that sweeter tooth, so it's easier. But yeah, I mean, reading this week about what artificial sweeteners can do to me has made me think, phew, I'm glad I don't use them. Right, so I've blathered on long enough, scored a hat-trick, and I'm really, really chuffed with that. I'm proud of myself. I mean, let's face it, the only person who's doing this is me, with a little help from my friend. But I am proud of what I've achieved in the last 32 days. And I was going to say if I can do it, anybody can do it, but what you do is your business. You might not want to do it. Have a good week, and if we're not back midweek, we'll be back next Saturday. Take care. Bye.